Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. The Philadelphia Eagles are 10-1 after a win against the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football, and it's all presented by True Classic Tees. Look fresh this holiday season like your boy here rocking this True Classic polo. 25% off using the promo code CHAT at trueclassictees.com/chat. We'll put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. So for those of you watching late night, we appreciate you no matter where you are and how you're tuned in, because right now it's about midnight as we record this during our live show for our post-game show. But if you're waking up with us, thank you as well. Philadelphia Eagles taking the Green Bay Packers down by a final score of 40-33. And the big storyline in this football game, the Philadelphia Eagles running for a bunch of yards against this Packers team. 363 yards on the ground, the most for Philadelphia dating all the way back to the 1950s. That's how dominant Philadelphia was in this victory. And early on, they take a 13-0 lead. Then they surrender that advantage as Aaron Rodgers and the Packers mount a comeback in a desperation spot. Rodgers finished the game pretty good, 11 of 16, 140 yards and 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. One I would say was his fault. Reed Blankenship, the UDFA, with the other interception there. Aaron Rodgers did leave the game late in this one with a rib injury on top of him having that broken thumb. A.J. Dillon, 8 carries, 64 yards. Christian Watson went off again. He now has 5 touchdowns over his last 4 games. 4 catches, 110, and a tutty. But the Philadelphia Eagles able to run the football when they needed to, ran the football successfully all throughout this game, led by the efforts of Jalen Hurts. Through the air, 16-28, 153 and 2 tutties. Miles Sanders, one of his best games of the season, if not his best. 21 totes for a $143 and 2 touchdowns. Devontae Smith with 4 catches for 50 yards. But when you look at what Jalen Hurts was able to do in that ground game, he was able to run it 17 times for 157 yards. And again, the Eagles, 7.4 yards per carry. Nearly 400 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. And when the Packers wanted to get physical, the Eagles got physical as well. They met them in terms of the physicality, and they dominated them from minute 1 to minute 60 of this football game. It's another Eagles win. Let's celebrate it right now in the comment section. If you're pumped up about the Birds dub, type "Go Birds" right now in the comment section. Couple of takeaways that I have on top of your questions and super chats coming in. The Eagles right now, number 1 seed probability with the victory tonight, up to 70%. If other teams have to come to Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly for a divisional or NFC championship game, it is going to be a very difficult place to play. The environment, unlike many other environments across the NFL, that's why it was so imperative for the Eagles to come through with this victory. And the Eagles, the most rushing yards since the 1950s, in my opinion, they absolutely beat their ass. And what I liked, the Eagles went up 13-0 to start. Aaron Rodgers was able to counter to take the lead at 14-13, but the Eagles were able to respond and show resolve. And the last couple of weeks, everybody's been complaining about this Eagles offense. They weren't consistent enough. They didn't come through on some of those money downs. Tonight, they showed to the world and they showed to the nation that even not playing their best game, they still put up 40 points. They still converted on 3rd down and money down conversions. And even though the Green Bay Packers knew that the Philadelphia Eagles were going to run the football, Eagles still ran for nearly 400 yards en route to a 40-33 victory over Green Bay. And I wanted the Eagles defense to show, going up against Aaron Rodgers, that they were in fact legit because they're top 5 in multiple categories. Against the pass game, they were a little bit shaky. Against the ground game, they were pretty solid. Jordan Love came in a little bit late, but positive signs for this team moving forward as they had to face some adversity. They had to show some resolve. They faced some pressure once the Packers were able to come back off that 13-0 deficit, and they got that victory to move to a league best 9-1 this year. Now, I'm rocking this True Classic tee right now, and Philadelphia Eagles Now is presented by True Classic Tees, and there are a bunch of great deals with Black Friday even being a couple of days ago, but Cyber Monday also here as well. The holidays are almost here, and there is plenty of t-shirt cheer thanks to our sponsor, True Classic Tees. Fellas, we have the perfect gift for your wish list. True Classic Tees, a gift for you, for her, and the great present for any guys in your life. True Classic Tees is on a mission to maximize men's confidence by making them look good. And trust me when I say that, this is a gift that the ladies will appreciate too. True Classic has already helped over 2 million men look great in their tees, and now you can save big. While you do so, get 25% off TrueClassicTees.com/chat with our exclusive link, and the discount doesn't stop there. You'll save even more during this site-wide Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale. Support our show and check out TrueClassicTees.com/chat for that deal to apply to you. More takeaways that I have from this football game, and I really like the identity of what the Eagles were able to show throughout this victory. You let the Packers come back. You knew Aaron Rodgers would be on his A game as him and the Packers were desperate to save their season. Yet, Philadelphia didn't blink. They were at home and sometimes playing at the link. When the other team comes back, you can crater to that pressure. Eagles didn't do that in this football game. Touchdown from Hurts to Watkins before halftime. Absolutely massive. Just a great back shoulder ball from Jalen Hurts to Quez Watkins in a spot in which you needed a touchdown. Hurts was able to deliver it. And I know that he's a unique quarterback in today's NFL in which everything is pass happy. He is making and taking strides as a passer in this league. That on top of him being that running threat is really valuable for this offense. And I've continued to say this. I worry about Jalen Hurts as we progress in the regular season, as we get into the playoffs. I think that he is more of a take the snap, predetermined read, go where the read has you going, go through your progressions, and if the read isn't there, take off and run. And that is the quarterback of Jalen Hurts. He's not going to slice you up like a Tom Brady, a Peyton Manning. But if he can combine his football acumen, which he has, his hard work ethic, and his ability somewhat to deliver the football where it needs to go, on top of his deep ball accuracy, the Eagles can make up for him not being a progression by progression quarterback and the dual threat guy that he is after he ran for 157 yards and make a deep run in the playoffs. It's very Lamar Jackson Ravens-esque. I need to see the model prove itself in the NFL playoffs, but it's a winning formula right now, and then once we get to the big dance, we'll see what Jalen Hurts is able to do. CJ Gardner-Johnson, if he is out for an extended period of time, that is a huge problem for Philadelphia. I thought that Reed Blankenship, who had an interception of Aaron Rodgers, and Kayvon Wallace played pretty well in this game, but CJ Gardner-Johnson going into this game in NFL Week 12 led the NFL in interceptions. His anticipation skills, making big plays, his lack of fear, his confidence, his swagger has been paramount for this team. Went out with a rib injury. We'll see what Nick Sirianni has to say about that ailment after the game. But if it's broken ribs, he could be out for a couple of weeks. It could last up to a month. Hurts running it so much to be successful. It is not great long term for this football team, but they can win in that manner, like they're able to show tonight. And the Eagles' ground game, once again, extremely good. You look at the tallies all across the board. Hurts, again, as a quarterback, you don't want your QB running 17 times for 157. But when he averages 9.2 yards per carry, as a play caller in that moment, it's hard to take him out of that. Miles Sanders, a terrific game. 21 carries, a buck 43 with 2 tutties. Kenny Gainwell, 8 carries for 39. Boston Scott, 3 for 24. 49 carries for 364 yards, an average yards per tote of 7.4 with 3 carries on the day. The long for Jalen Hurts. The offensive line, of course, deserves credit because after that loss last week, or after the loss against the Commanders and after the win against the Colts, I had said, this offensive line, we were expecting it. We were pegging it to be the best offensive line in football. Yet they had shown some weaknesses and hadn't played up to their par. Jeremiah Latta, Landon Dickerson, Isaac Seumalo, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson. They were paving open running lanes all throughout the night, and the Eagles ground game able to be successful because of that. So with that, let me ask you this. Get into the comment section right now. Your MVP from Sunday Night Football is who? Let me know. We'll take your questions and your super chats right now on our Eagles Now post-game show. Canick Shep. How about Reed Blankenship? Love how we stepped up, and I love it too. UDFA, Middle Tennessee, undrafted free agent on the bubble to make this 53. And once CJ Gardner-Johnson, CD Deuce, goes out, he is thrust into a big role. And he played that big role really well. Rodgers on that pick that he threw to Blankenship on the left side of the defense, started as a left safety on a 2-deep coverage standpoint. Went right pre-snap. Rodgers tried to go to Tunyon. Blankenship read it. His first interception of his NFL career comes against Aaron Rodgers. That's special. And Brandon Grant, for a guy who came into the league in 2010, got his first sack of Aaron Rodgers in this game as well. Tala Abdul Kareem, $10 super chat. I'll give you this with some noise. I'll give you this with some energy. I'll give you this with some gusto. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles! Adam Singleton, $20 super chat. As we are approaching 1,000 for our watch party. 10-1. Let's go. Eagles, that game was awesome. And I like that game as well for the Eagles. Last couple of weeks, they haven't been good as an offensive unit. Tonight, they responded. Tonight, they responded to adversity. Tonight, they showed up when they had to, and they put points on the board in some really critical situations. Adam Singleton with another 20 with the win against the Green Bay Packers. Do you think we have a shot at the number 1 spot plus the Super Bowl? So as I said, the Philadelphia Eagles right now, a little bit earlier, have a 70% chance of grabbing that number 1 seed. And if another team has to come to Philadelphia to win a playoff game, divisional round, championship round, it's going to be a very difficult place to come through with that victory. If it's anything like 2017, Eagles could be Super Bowl bound, even with their limitations and predictability on the offensive side of the football. Emmanuel, $10 donation. Thanks for having a super show tonight. Me and the Philly fan club, shout out to you and the Eagles Nation that watched tonight. Emmanuel, shout out to you. Shout out to the Philly fan club. Shout out to everybody who tuned into our watch party. We greatly appreciate that. Our last question during our post-game show, and then we'll stay live for your super chats as well as your comments. Grade the Birds' performance tonight. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know right now in the comment section. And as always, thanks for your support of Philadelphia Eagles Now.